Okay, but let me just tell you this, that for any communal faction any communal faction. So suppose I am a communal Islamic faction and you are a communal Hindu faction, or whichever religion, A faction and B faction. If I need to justify my existence, I need you. I cannot have justification of a very radical A faction, Muslim or Hindu, unless there is a mirror one in the opposite side. There is no justification for me. So because if I'm a Muslim guy and I see some guys talking about jihad in the wrong tone other than what is in the Quran, I'm like, you guys don't need to say this. But their justification is, you know why we are saying it? Because she's saying X faction is bad, X religion is wrong. So the justification of one radical faction, the biggest justification is the existence of the other one. So anyone which is giving any kind of leeway to this belief, if you're going to be communal and if you're going to allow little organizations to be communal, then you are not the fifth column, you are the main neve, you are the base for badness to exist in this country or anywhere else. Terrorism is part of the badness that I taught. So I'm very clear that when you say, is there a fifth column, is there a fourth column, is there somebody helping them? Every one of us is helping who's communal in our heads. So please take out this, is the word right, communality or whatever it's called, take communalism out of your head. We need to, see, the only way terrorism can hurt us is taking away our secularism. And you know, we are very secular people. We don't even know which religion we belong to. We love each other. I'm Shah Rukh Khan, I'm a leading star in this country, man, which is supposed to be a Hindu-dominated country. I've never felt like that. My father's a Pathan, my mother's from Hyderabad, my wife is a Hindu. I've studied in a Christian school. So where is the, where is the radicalism in my belief? And I'm educated enough and people love me equally in this country.
What do you think should happen to the terrorists that we've captured now? And all the others that we have in our prisons?
I think there is a little, see, I have no problem saying I would not know the actual functioning of how these things are done. I don't know. Maybe you don't know. A lot of us don't know. But the idea is that there has to be humane, we have a law which we are supposedly following for the last 100 years, 50 years, 60 years. We should quickly, the only thing is we should just let law take its time a little faster. You know, it should not take as long as it does for everything. You apply for a permission for a little gate in your house, it takes 3 months.
Which is why corruption comes in.
Yeah, we just prolong a few things and then, people change, the guys who are supposed to be responsible who've heard the case. You know, I have this issue many times that I'm talking to you for a bit of work and suddenly I find out, oh, that person has changed. So, oh, we have to start all over again. So I'm just, my only suggestion, and a very humble suggestion in this would be that I think in all cases of the law, and there are some people suffering with very petty crimes in the jails because of the length it takes for the law to be delivered. I understand the infrastructural problems, but then why isn't something being done for the last 10, 15 years, or at least now? And I was hearing today that there is going to be a central agency which is going to have its own courts, its own policing, its own army and security system. I think that's a good idea. You know, it should not be used for political agendas like POTA and MOCA and TADAs have been used. But a central agency, somebody corrected us. They said we keep saying federal, it's not federal, India is not federal. It should be a national or a central agency. And that agency should come and expedite whatever treatment is to be meted out. We do have a death penalty in this country. Now, please, I know human rights people will jump around and say whatever they have to, which is okay, that's their job, they should do it. But whatever the law states for someone who has taken life should be meted out as fast as possible, so that it also, I'm not saying it's going to thwart a lot of terrorists from doing it again, but at least it at least tells you, listen, if you are coming to this country, to my country, to attack us, you're not leaving this alive. Whether you get shot down, whether you get, I think a little bit of youthful passion and anger should be brought into the system. 1 second, an eye for an eye is all right. I mean, I know it will make the world blind, but aren't we already blinded? Don't you think it will be a much better thing that we say, okay, we are already blind, so it doesn't make much of a difference. People are getting blinded, and let's now sit down and, I think it should just be expedited. I think that's my only thing. What exact penalty should be given, I don't know. I don't know the law well enough, but I think it should be just done faster.
You know, Not so much these days, but there used to be a real nexus between the mafia and Bollywood. And in fact, you're one of the few people who's managed to steer clear of this. Firstly, how have you managed to steer clear of it? And Dawood Abraham, who's like connected with the first blast and apparently got a hand in this blast also. People are talking about it. What is that connection? What actually goes on between Bollywood and the mafia? Do you know? Do you have any insight on that?
I'm from Delhi. Let me be very honest, and I'm not shirking away from the responsibility that this was a part and parcel of our work, but I think in a very small way, not as big as... See, any small thing that happens to the Indian film industry is obviously a little exaggerated, to say the least. It's, it's just stated in a way that, oh, this is happening deep inside. See, in every line of work, whenever people are making a foray into a new business, there are people at the periphery who like to make a mark, but they don't find any other way, which is actually how it works everywhere. And they say, let's take recourse to help from people who would force the other people to participate with us in a job. So I think there were some people on the periphery of filmmaking who indulge in this. Now, of course, with the economy being how it is, despite the recession, etc., now it's becoming easier for monies to come from corporates and banks.
So you're saying it's usually, people think that the perception is that the mafia is coming in, but it's actually Bollywood who was going to the mafia and
See, let me also just give you an example that if suppose there is a person in the mafia, he's or she is also related to somebody somewhere in life. You know, it's not that they are just born singularly, you know, they don't come out of an egg somewhere without having any antecedents or relationships with people. So somebody is somewhere related to someone, you know, by genetics or just by association or friendship. And, you know, when I came to Mumbai, see, I didn't know there is an underworld. I'm from Delhi. So we don't have an underworld in Delhi, or at least didn't have when I was being brought up there. So when I came here, it was quite strange and actually intriguing in a strange way. Oh, wow, what we see in movies is real. We have a mafia like the Italian mafia. You know, when you're young, you get quite intrigued by these things.